Thank you, Anne Lynn Anderson from Copenhagen. So nice to meet you both. First questions for you, Zach. Why? It seems that way, at least. Why are you so drawn to these big scale, epic, very visual dramas?
It's a good question. You would think that I might have had my fill of this madness, but the truth is, I just love these big mythological stories. I'm a lover of sci-fi, and so this just seemed to be a perfect fit for me, just in my mind, just in sort of the general passion to do it was high, and so yeah. So here you go. A couple years later is what we got.
And are we ever gonna see you make a small kitchen sink drama or something like that?
Yeah, that would be fun.
We had a couple
It
of
would always be a
those.
weird, there'd always be a weird twist, but yeah.
But how does it work in your head? Do you see the visual, because you have a very significant visual style? Do you see images before you see the story, or how does it work?
I think it kind of works together for me. Like as I'm writing, I'm sort of visualizing it very carefully, and it's kind of it's a very specific process in my thinking. So yeah, it kind of all happens at the same time. Like the story and the sort of pictures are the same to me.
So you don't go, oh, that could be nice with the bullet going this way and exploding like this before you.
Yeah. No, I don't do it that way. I kind of like as I'm writing, I'm kind of sort of visualizing it, and then I kind of make some sketches, and it's me just trying to get the initial image down.
Right.
And then you draw it and you make the
Then I draw it
movie
for real.
once.
Then I
And
draw
he
it for real.
literally draws every frame and not just like, okay, this is a wide shot. He does it as if he's editing the movie. Um, and that is super helpful to everybody on the crew and especially as a producer because we know exactly what his shots are. So if we're building a set, we'll know, oh, we're only seeing these two walls. So we only have to build those two walls. He's not going to on the day kind of change. It's like that is our roadmap for sure. So it allows us to, especially on these big movies that have a lot of big sets, a lot of big special effects, it allows us to build only exactly what we need. So everything's on the screen.
It also sounds a bit like you could actually make a graphic novel out from the storyboard alone.
You absolutely could probably.
And if to you, Deborah, both as wife and producer, what themes do you see? Recurring themes do you see in sex stories and films?
I think the biggest thing, I think the influence of Joseph Campbell is evident in mostly everything that we've done. You know, this notion of the hero's journey, of the reluctant hero about, finding our true potential. I think that's something thematically that Zach is very interested in, and you can see in one way or another in all our films.
Can you recognize that, Zach?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I do. I absolutely do. I mean, the hero's journey, sort of the archetypal hero's journey has always fascinated me and does to this day.
And making a film with Netflix now after several years with DC, what kind of experience was that? Was that a freer experience, or how would you describe it, Zach?
Well, we made Army of the Dead already with them, and that was a great experience. They pretty much just said, make us a crazy zombie movie, and I did. Then with this, they've been really also super supportive, not only just in this PG-13 theatrical cut, but agreeing at the beginning on the onset to R-rated director's cut as well that we've been working on. So really being able to sort of, get my cake and eat it too. Although I will say that the director's cut, because they're an hour more each, it's like a total of 3 hours. It's been a exhausting process because
Especially when we did two movies.
Careful what you wish. Careful what you wish for. Yeah.
And I'm just trying to imagine your work-life balance because you are a couple also, and you work together, and that must be crazy sometimes, I imagine.
Yeah.
But we get to go to great places like this, and we get to support each other. I think oftentimes this industry, because you're traveling so much, and if your spouse is not involved, they're either at home or they're in a location by themselves because the days are long. Every day we have different jobs. So there are days when I don't even see him all day because I'm dealing with other issues, but it's all for this common goal, which is really amazing. And also to have someone, there's a lot of pressure doing some of this work, and to have someone who totally supports you and has your back is a really nice thing.
But what kind of things can you disagree on, and how do you solve these situations? Is that budget problems the question always?
The budget. Well, you know what? We always, here's the thing that's most important. We always have a united front, but it doesn't mean that we agree on everything. And I have to, as my job and role as a producer, it is my job to bring the director's vision to screen. And you just have to learn not to take it if you do disagree, or if I say, and Zach is really good about, if I have a concern, listening. But at the end of the day, he is the director. So my job is to get that vision, out there.
Right. And Zach, there's of course, you think Star Wars a little bit when you watch Rebel Moon. I'm sorry if it's, but was that
fine?
Star Wars, has that been an inspiration for you, and why did you want to take on this?
I think on one hand, I think that Star Wars has chewed up so much of the iconology of science fiction that you can't help but be reminded maybe a little bit of Star Wars. But in the end, I think what we've done is much darker and a little weirder than they would be able to do. And in that case, that makes me happy.
Yeah, totally. It's very different.
But is it a universe you have wanted to make a story in for a long time?
Oh yeah. I mean, the basic, I would say the basic sort of story engines of this thing have existed since I was in college.
Wow. And you, it's a funny thing with you, because you're a director that seems to polarize audiences. You have a huge fan crowd that really love your stuff, and then you also have critique, for people that don't like it so much. What's your own bit on why your films do that?
Why?
You answer it then.
I have no idea. I always, what, it is interesting, because I think sometimes the haters, it's very personal, and I was like, he's kind of the nicest guy. I know I'm his wife, but his crews and his cast love him, and he is so collaborative that some of this just doesn't really make sense. So we've wondered that ourselves.
Yeah, I think also because we work in genre, but we try and elevate it, and I think that process of elevating genre, the people that enjoy these kinds of films, it's more than a movie to them. And so we end up in, like a really dramatic situation with the people's emotions when it comes to the films. And I think that we know that now, and we're cool with it. So it's just we view it as like, it's what we do. And so we have to, figure out a way through it, because we're not doing it.
And also, it's better than having something wash over you and mean nothing. And I think throughout the years, we have gotten an enormous amount of outreach from people that the movies have touched in so many ways. And it has helped them through hard times, or they were inspired by. And I just feel like that's something that really means something.
They do. Beware of the film nerds always,
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.